Welcome to Catholic Alpha Unleashed, where Christian soldiers congregate, where we rock the authentic manliness of our Lord Jesus Christ, filtered through His truth, which is the only truth of real men of courage, while condemning the cowardly actions of the effeminate, the emasculated, the just plain wusses of our society. Forever presenting the question: be you wuss or be you warrior? Hello again, and welcome to Catholic Alpha Unleashed. I'm Jerry Jacobs Jr., and I save marriages. So let's do this. Today's quote is from Chuck Palahniuk. It states, "We are the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War or Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We've all been raised by television to believe that one day we'll all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars. But we won't." Chuck Palahniuk's American author, book, Fight Club. So, today's post deals with Christ's true masculinity. I've pulled a few points from Matthew James Christoph's site, The New Evangelization Project. And this is going to help me drive home my point. So the question is, do you ever wonder why the churches are basically empty? I mean, Catholic churches, parishes, and Protestant churches. So today, we're going to look into this. So this article is called The Catholic Man Crisis. And so we're going to go through about 5 or 6 points. If you want to read the rest of the article, his article, it'll be, it's on my blog post. So just click, either read the blog post, if you're on my site, read the blog post, and then just click on it. The link is right there. Or if you're on YouTube, you can look in the description section and click on the blog post there, and it'll take you there. So, the first is, only 38% of Catholic men strongly agree that they are proud to be Catholic. So, as we know, whatever happens to the Catholic Church happens in the Protestant churches because, well, we're number one. We got over 1 billion people, and so, when you're the biggest, that's just what happens. So whatever happens to, the big ones, always ends up happening to the little ones. So here we go. Like I said, only 38% of Catholic men strongly agree that they are proud to be Catholic. Now, this one bothers me because, man, you're going to jump around, you're going to go to the Colts game, or you're going to go to this, the World Cup soccer event, or you're going to go to the NBA Finals, which is going to be here pretty soon. Or you're going to go watch the big hockey, the Stanley Cup that's going to happen. See, I know all the sports. Been there and done that. I know them all. And you're going to be in the stands, and you're going to sit there and act a total fool. You're going to have blue paint all over your whole body. You're going to be jumping up and down. Basically, you're going to worship somebody. So whether you worship sports, or you worship your job, or you worship something, you are going to worship something. And my thing is, Christ is right there. He's your example. The problem with these men is they don't really understand what they're doing, the example they're setting for their kids. So if you're not proud to be a Christian, you got a serious problem. That means you are totally and completely uneducated. You're totally and completely ignorant, and you don't understand your faith, which means if you don't understand your faith that you say you are, then you're not even educated enough to even, and then you won't even go and try to find out. That's what kills me about husbands and men in general. We think we know everything, and we don't. We get complacent, we get lazy, and then when things start to go south, oh my Lord, what happened? Oh God, oh Christ, please save me. And what happens? You expect Christ to run in there like Superman and save you. But what did you do before? See, this is the point. To me, I'm Catholic. I'm Christian. Man, ain't nothing in this world to be more proud of than that. And we'll get more into that deeper as we go. So, the next point that Mr. Christoph makes is 48% of men agree that Mass is boring. Now, for you people that are, to you gentlemen that are Protestant, well, in the Catholic faith, Protestant means you rebel against the church. So you rebel against the Catholic Church. So that's why you're called Protestants. You know, hate it, love it, you know, whatever. But for Catholics, Mass is basically church, because it's called Mass because we all get together in the community of God, and it's called a Mass, and it is the church. So basically, 45% of men agree that Mass is boring, and 55% agree that they don't get anything out of the Mass. See, this is also ridiculous. This is effeminacy. This is emasculation. You go to Mass and you sit there with your arms crossed and you let everybody know that I hate being here. Man, you ought to be totally ashamed of yourself. Totally ashamed of yourself. See, the problem is we think everything is about feelings. It ain't about feelings. It's your duty, our duty, and our responsibility as husbands, protectors of our homes, and defenders and servers to go to Mass, participate, and show a great attitude with there. Why? Because, man, you got your kids sitting there looking at you. You got Christ sitting there looking at you, dude. And you sitting there with your arms crossed like some big baby. And you talking about you don't get nothing out of it? That's because you don't even know why you there. You know why you there? To show homage and reverence to Christ, man. To show that there's something greater and bigger than you. He created you, man. You don't even know that much. Christ created you, and you can't go for 1 hour a week and get on your knees and show thanks. And that's why it's not about feelings. It's about the will, man. You have to ignite your will and say, look, I'm going to go to the parish. I'm going to go through Mass like I'm supposed to. I'm going to participate. I'm going to be happy I'm there. And you're not even supposed to get anything out of it. That's the thing, because it ain't about you. It's about Christ, man. It's about Christ. It's about you being humble and meek and to go and lower your head and to sit there and to be on your knees and show God and show your family and show your sons that you understand what this world is really about. And that's what upsets me. And you know what? I was there, dude. I was there. I was there just like you are. I was there. I was like, when my wife first took me to a Catholic Mass, I'm looking at these people. I'm like, what are they doing? They all, you know, sitting down, standing up. I'm like, can we just do one thing? No, we can't. You know why we can't do just one thing? Because we have to be active and proactive in the Mass, man. We are the men. We can't be sitting there and whining like some little crybabies and stuff. And it's time. That's the thing. When sometimes we use man up in the wrong circumstance, but right now I'm telling you to man up. Understand your faith. Understand why you're kneeling. Understand why God asked you to go to Mass every Sunday. Understand why it's a mortal sin. You know why? Because, man, it gets you to understand that it's not about you, man. It gets you to understand that you have to be purified and sanctified. And the only way to do that is to lower and bend your knee and to understand that the only reason that you're breathing right now is because God has not decided to take away your lungs and your breath. Now you think about that. Next, only 28% of Catholic men believe that confession is very important. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the reason that Catholic men, husbands, and Catholic Protestants alike, not Catholic Protestants, but Protestants alike, they don't understand confession, man. Here's what confession is about. I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to make it as simple as I can because you refuse to go and find out why. All you want to do is listen to all these people out here in this secular world that don't understand nothing because they ignorant. So I'm going to educate you just a little bit of what I know. And what I know is this. Think of it like this. Your daughter and your son, he goes out and, he robs a liquor store or something at 15. Let's just say that. And don't think that it ain't in the realm of possibility because these days your kids will do anything. Don't believe it. Believe the hype. They will. Behind your back, they'll do whatever. So you people up in these rich places, you people in these poor places, don't think that your kid ain't doing stuff when you're not around. So this is why you got to form them. So basically, here's what confession's about. Bam. You go and your son goes at 15, 16 years old and robs a liquor store. I don't care if his father is a millionaire or his father or his mother don't have anything, a pot to piss in. So he comes back, and you know what a lot of parents do these days? Oh, especially the mothers. Hear what they do. And the mothers do this because the daddies ain't around to help the mothers figure out how to deal with this crap. So here's what the mother would say. Oh, he's my son, and I just love him, and he's really a good kid. He really, really is. No, he ain't. Your kid ain't crap. You know why? He just robbed the liquor store, dude. He about shot somebody, or whatever he did. So here's what you do. Here's what the mother should go. Well, I can't tell him nothing because, when I was young, I did stupid stuff too. I did stuff like that too. So how can I judge him? Man, do you even realize how silly that sounds coming out of any's mouth? If you look at the news, which I hate the news, I don't look at the news because they all do is manipulate you. It's about them making money, but that's cool. If you want to look at the news, that's up to you. But basically, man, it's like this. Your son, and he's robbed it. So what you do is you tell him it's okay. It's not okay, but I did stuff when I was young and blah, blah, blah. And you'll go, I've heard parents tell people they'll say, well, when I was young, I smoked weed. And when I was done, I used contraception. And when I was young, I masturbated. And when I was young, I had an abortion. So how can I judge him and tell him that he can't do these things? See, man, that's what you go to confession for. Right there. You take your butt to confession. You get on your knees. You say the act of contrition. After you get done, you tell the priest, look, man, and see, that's another thing. You're not talking to the priest, you're talking to Christ. But Christ he charged priests because every man they need to hear the words, you are forgiven. If you're going to sit in your house and sit on your couch and go, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry for all the sins I committed, every bad thing I've ever done. Yeah, Christ hears that. God hears that, man, but that ain't what he is asking you to do. That ain't how he said do it. You need a priest to sit down on your knees and get on your knees and to tell you, son, you are forgiven. You are absolved. You know what that does? Because at first, I didn't want to go tell the priest nothing either. I mean, hey, I done did all kind of crazy stuff too. I did all kind of stuff before I was Catholic and when I was Catholic. But you know what, man? It's another thing. It's a sacrament. It's a grace. God gives you graces for saying that you wrong, for saying that you messed up, for admitting like a man and not giving no crappy excuses of, well, I did it because of this, I did it because of that. Christ tells us that we are supposed to be absolved by a priest and to tell us, look it up. And I should have looked it up. I didn't get the, I'm sorry, I slipped, but I was in a rush. I kind of rushed today. I didn't look it up myself. But it does, you know, you are supposed to get absolution. Okay, that's what priests are for. And if you don't get confession, if you don't go to confession and your conscience feels clear, because I'm telling you what, man, I have never in my life, in 12, 13 years I've been Catholic, I have never, ever met a man, a woman, a child that walked out of confession and said, you know, that didn't do nothing for me. I don't feel lighter. Man, you feel lighter. Because all that original sin, all that brokenness that you've committed up to that point is gone. That's why confession is a sacrament. Because it really, it's just like getting married. It's just like getting baptized. It's just like taking the Eucharist, man. It relieves you of all the daily stress. That's what sacraments are for in their nutshell. Confession takes away that guilt. And if you are doing crappy stuff, you should feel guilty. You should be judging yourself. You shouldn't be waiting for God to do it or somebody to do it to tell you you're doing wrong. You should have enough awareness about yourself to look in the mirror and say, man, I did this, I did that, man. I need to go to the priest and have God forgive me. That way your conscience is clear, man. You don't have to worry about it. Then when your conscience is clear and you said, I'm sorry, you told God you did everything you're supposed to do, the priest said, I'm absolved you, you say you're at the contrition, then what do? When your knucklehead son tells you, man, I robbed the thing, daddy, I'm sorry, you can say, man, that was stupid. Man, that was wrong. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do in the future. And you can feel justified and right in saying that. You know why? Because God has forgiven you. So that gives you the power to go out and evangelize and tell people when they screwed up. Remember, this world, God says, it's about this. We are to judge the actions of men. We are not to judge a man's soul. That's the Catholic Church straight out. And any Protestant church that got sense, that they know that too. You have to judge somebody's actions, because if it was a serial killer and he went out and started killing 10 women and raping them, first thing you'd be like is, that's wrong. He can't do that. That's the same thing with your friend, with your mother, your father, your wife, your kids. You, especially as a man, we are such punks right now. We have to get off our butt and tell people what they're doing wrong. You know why? Because the people that are preaching this stuff that we don't judge people, the last 60 years, is they stuff working? Look at all the murdering and the raping and the abortions and the pornography and all the divorces and all this crappy stuff. Look at these politicians beholding nobody. They tell you any dang thing, and then what they do? They go off and you elect them, they do whatever they want to do. Why? Why do you think they do that? Because they have no morality. They have no sense of morality. They are beholden to no one but themselves. They act like they daddy. They act like your daddy because they are your daddy. Politicians are your daddy. You know why? Because you elect them when they don't have God in their life. They don't go to mass. They do all this crappy stuff. And what do we as idiots do? We go right and elect them. I voted for Obama too the first time. I was stupid. Trying to be the black thing, do the black thing. Oh, trying to be proud. Oh, trying to be proud. Guess what that did? Look at the economy. Look at all the crazy executive order stuff he's doing. Sure, all my black friends gonna dog me out. The ones that ain't got no sense anyway. All my black friends gonna dog me out and say he a sellout. I don't care what you say. You know why? Because I ain't black first. I'm Catholic first. I'm Christian first. God and Christ is who I answer to. I don't answer to you. I don't answer to Obama or Clinton or Reagan or Carter or all these presidents and politicians, Nancy Pelosi and all these crazy people. I don't answer to them. And when you don't feel that you have to answer to them, you free, dude. That's when you free. When you ain't scared if they put you in jail. When you ain't scared if they take away all your little possessions, all your little money, all your cars and your house. When you sacrifice your life for Christ, man, that's when you free, dude. That's when you free. Next. The next one is only 37% of Catholic men strongly agree that daily prayer is important, and only 33% of Catholic men pray on a daily basis. And you wonder why your wife is unhappy. You wonder why she act like she's cool. You wonder why she's depressed. You wonder why. You wonder why you got trials and tribulations in your family. You wonder why your work life is crazy. It's that because you don't have any grace, man. You're not praying. Your first duty as a husband is to get on your knees and pray. You know why? Because God gives you graces, man. Prayer is the number one thing you got to do for your family. It's called spiritual warfare, brother. It's called spiritual warfare. And the battles between you and you. Praying's hard. The Catholic faith is hard. Christianity is hard. It's hard. That's why men are priests. That's why God made men priests. And if you got a decent Protestant church, that's why your church has a man as the pastor. That's why. That's why. We need to understand why. We need to understand why prayer is important. Prayer is hard. And if you don't make men get off their butt and do something, then the women are going to take over. If the women take over, well, we didn't see, they already took over. We didn't see how that is the last 60, 70 years. We see how that went. Right. Everything's about feelings with women. Men and women are different. God gave women certain gifts. They gave men certain gifts. Women are nurturers. And the feminists and the crazy women, they try to fight that, but they fight in their nature. They don't realize that being a woman is beautiful. They don't realize being an authentic woman is beautiful. No man wants a butch woman walking around with her hair cut off looking like some dude. Nobody does. Being a man who's masculine is powerful. Women love that stuff. Nah, but what do? We walk around, we act like, we just trying to be soft and we trying to be weak out in public. And we know we ain't like that in our house. We know we ain't like that, especially the little weak young boys growing up. They try to get their little girlfriends, try to, show them how sweet and sincere they are. But the women really don't want that. And I'll tell you why later. So prayer is your first duty. That's how you protect your family from demons and the spiritual warfare. This is how you prevent. See, they didn't fool your butt into thinking there ain't no Satan and there ain't no such thing as evil. Well, guess what? What do you think evil is? That's why your family is all screwed up. That's why your kids running out and doing all kind of crazy stuff. That's why your kids run your household. Because you don't have Christ there, and if you do have Christ there, you're not doing what he's asked you to do. You're not obedient. You need to pray. Prayer is your number one duty as a man, as a husband, as a father. You have to pray for your children. You have to pray for your wife. You have to pray for your marriage. You have to. Next, I know I'm getting y'all. This is pumping me up today because I'm excited. So, next one. Less than 50% of men strongly agree that it is important for their children to be Catholic. I'm going to say it again. I kind of stumbled over my words. Slow down, Jerry. You're getting too excited. Less than 50% of men strongly agree that it is important for their children to be Catholic. This is why, okay. So you don't care if your kids are Christian. It ain't no big deal to you. Okay, no problem. Check this out, though. This is why your daughter will grow up, get pregnant, and lead a faith. Straight up. Her daddy ain't praying, and her daddy don't care if she's a Christian or not. Next, your son, he's going to follow her too. If you got a son, he's going to follow your daughter. Especially if she's older. He's going to get someone pregnant. He's going to live with her. He's going to use her up. Then, when he don't love her no more or have no feelings for her or things ain't going right, he's going to abandon her because he can't take the pressure of manhood. Straight out. And you know why? Because his daddy don't care. His daddy don't pray for him. His daddy don't pray so he can get graces from God so his son act right. So his daughter act right. Man, I've been there, dude. I've been there. You cannot. I wish I had known when I was 20 and 30 what I knew in my 40s and 45 and 50. We all say that I know, especially when it comes to sex, right? But anyway, that was just a joke, y'all. I'm sorry. But anyway, but that's what it is. You know, I wish I had known that. My family would have been so much better. But anyway, so if the daddy don't care about his little daughter and his son, about if they're a Christian, because we think, here's what we think, because I thought the same thing. I was just like you. Here's what I thought in my 30s and 20s. Especially when I had my kids, I was like, okay, you know, I don't need God and stuff. You know, that stuff's stupid. I didn't ask him to die for me. He died on his own. I didn't ask him that to do that. And so I thought that I could raise my kids and it's gonna be perfect. I thought, well, I don't think it's gonna be perfect. I've never been like that. But I know I'm supposed to try to be perfect. But back then, I thought if somebody said I was trying to be perfect, I was like, no, I ain't trying to be perfect. But see, now I understand the faith. I'm trying to be perfect because Christ told me to be. But we'll go over that in a second. But anyway, so I'm saying that if the father doesn't care, then what'll happen is we think our kids are going to grow up and they're going to be perfect, or they're not going to do nothing wrong. And what we do, we start being reactive when our kids get in their teens, because when they're little, we don't whoop their butt. We don't spank that butt. We let the government and liberals tell us that ain't what Christ says. We're going to think that these psychologists that don't know nothing, these psychologists that ain't got no kids, they ain't married, can't keep a woman, and they going to tell you that you can't control your home. Man, what kind of crazy stuff is that? And what do we do as men? We stupid. We go right along with them. I ain't going to spank my kids because I ain't going to. Man, you need to whoop your son's butt. You know why? Because when he gets up and gets to be, he got to be scared of something. If your kid, I know little boys right now, I've been a youth football coach for 15 years, and I'm telling you, I know boys, if you don't whoop their butt and you don't control them, they will control you. They will control your house. The daddy gonna be scared. No, the mama gonna be scared. The mama gonna be scared of her own son. You think that, I know boys that are 10, 11, 12 years old, they'll whoop their mama's butt because the daddy don't control them, or he won't control them. I know men whose sons attack them. See, man, we got to get back to what Christ is talking about. You got to discipline kids and whoop that butt when they young, because the older they get, they going to get big. One of my friends, he got a nephew, and I saw him at football practice a couple days ago. Man, I'm 280, 290 pounds, right? And I'm like 5'10". I'm a big dude, fat, but I'm big. Man, his nephew, who I remember seeing him when he was 19 years old, I saw him now, and I tried to hug him, and I couldn't get my arms around him. He was big. He's like 6 feet 1, about 350, 325, 300 pounds. He's huge. And he's like 15, 16 years old. You think his mama can control him if his daddy ain't around, if he really want to get mad? No, he can't. No, she can't. That's why the daddy's got to be in the house, man. That's why the father's got to be the disciplinarian. That's why you can't divorce your wife, because your kids are going to act out. Your kids will never be okay if you divorce their mother. It ain't going to happen. You got to think about Christ, man. Did Christ divorce his bride, the church? Did Christ not, when it was time for 33 years, Christ knew he was going to get messed up. He knew he was going to get metal hooks. He knew he was going to get stakes through his arms and his feet. He knew he was going to have to carry this big old wooden pound cross. He knew that. For 33 years, he knew that. Did he let that stop him from doing his mission? Did he? No, he did not answer for you. He didn't. That's why you can't be doing what people are telling you when they are going against Christ, man, no matter what. And I told a man the other day, you do not let anybody run your house, man, your kids or anybody. You don't let the government run your household either. You are beholden to Christ, and you do what he says do. You cannot let your kids run your house. You cannot let your kids scare your wife. Your wife, if she's a good woman, most times she ain't gonna say nothing, but you can just look at your wife, man, and tell that she's intimidated by her 6 foot, 6 foot son, because you didn't take care of your job when he was little. Man, I'm telling you, that's how it works, man. Anyway, You got to discipline your kids when they little. You got to care if they're Catholic. You got to care if they're Catholic Christian. You got to care if they're Christian. And you got to discipline them and take care of things. Or if you don't, they're going to abandon you, man. They ain't going to care about you because this is a selfish society. Anyway, I let that go on a little bit too long, and I'm sorry. But, man, I'm just, these men these days, man, I was just like them. Want everybody to love me. Want everybody to like me. That's what's wrong with these bishops and priests, man. And all these pastors and these other Protestant churches. And these, we want everybody to love us, man. But you ain't called to be loved, dude. You called to be great, dude. And you can't be great if everybody's loving you. You can't. You got to do your job. Your wife wants you to do your job. It's not your wife's job to be sitting up there trying to whoop a big old 8, 9-year-old boy because you ain't taking care of business. Anyway, that's Chris's blog. That's his article. If you want to read the rest of the article, like I said, I told you what to do. Click on the link below. So now what we get ready to do is go into talking points for the blog post today. So the question I get asked on occasion, why did I start my blog Catholic Alpha? And I always say, I started my blog for God and for my sons. Because, I ain't going to be around for long. I just turned 50. I could be leaving any day. So I wanted to start something because all these weak dudes out here that won't stand up and protect women and protect the country and protect their families. They just so weak and soft. They think they strong, but they really ain't. I was just worried. I was worried that my sons wouldn't have a blueprint to get their life when they get older and when I'm gone. And I decided that I was tired of doing stuff. I was doing jobs for just money all the time. I decided to basically just give my life over to God, give my family over to God and say, look, Christ, just do what you think you got to do. And that's what I did. And everybody can't do that. And luckily I got a good wife. See, that's why you got to have a good woman, dude. You got a good woman. They'll take you. You got a good woman, man. She'll take you a lot of places, man. You got a messed up woman, it ain't nothing but drudgery. But anyway, that's why I started Catholic Alpha, because when I'm gone, I want my boys to go somewhere to help guide them toward God. It's just really simple, because y'all ain't doing it. You men out there, you're not doing it. You just sitting back and letting the women take over, just like Hillary Clinton. Like in 2000, just like Hillary Clinton. Right now in 2016, men ain't got no respect. We have no respect. I know I'm singing broken English, man, but I'm getting really, this really right here really makes me anxious when I start talking about this. Because why do you think Hillary Clinton is running for president? Now, everybody gonna dog her out. I know she's unlikable, and I just don't talk politics that much because I think it's stupid. And I think, like I said before, all of them just using you. They just out for their own selves. But I thought about this the other day. Why? I mean, for the real deal, why is Hillary Clinton running for president? And if you don't understand women, there's no way in heck you're going to be able to answer this question. I'm going to say straight out. It's because Bill ain't do his job. I mean, that's basically it. Bill ain't show her no attention. Bill didn't love her. Bill didn't cherish her. Bill didn't give her no babies. He didn't show her he loved her enough for her to even be. He didn't show he was worthy enough for her to let him run things. And that's how women are. See, here's how women are. If a woman ain't gonna follow you because you a man. I don't care how strong and powerful you think you are. Okay? A woman is not gonna follow you just because you a dude. No, man. You have to show that you are worthy of her to allow you to lead her. See, that's what Ephesians 5, 21 through 33 is about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, dude. I mean, you got to be worthy of your woman, man. And if you are punk, if you weak, if you emasculated, if you effeminate, if you don't show her deep down that you're going to be there, She gonna protect her children. So basically what's gonna happen is, if you don't do it, she gonna do it. That's just how women are. That's why Hillary Clinton's running for president. You know why? Because she thinks there ain't another man out there that she is worthy of her. Is worthy of her to let them lead her. Now, ain't nobody gonna tell you that. And Hillary don't even know it herself. But you gotta understand women, man. Hillary is a nurturer. Even though you don't want to admit, people don't really think of it, she really is kind of a nurturer. She really is. She's trying to nurture the country. She thinks, although her policies are screwed up and she's a screwed up woman, that's mainly because of Bill. But I'm going to tell you, he messed around on her and all that kind of crazy stuff. But I'm going to tell you, really, she's trying to nurture the country. She feels like this Nancy Pelosi. All these women that are running for office and stuff, man, they think ain't no man out there worthy enough to allow them, to allow the women to allow them to lead. That's just the basic straight out truth. And ain't nobody gonna tell you that. But that's the truth. I tell you what, if men in the Catholic Church would have stood up and kept on the right path, the women wouldn't have minded, staying home and raising the kids and stuff and letting the men lead. You know why? Because the women would have been like, okay, he's trying to be a man. He a little screwed up sometime, but for the most part, he's got it going on. He's trying to be virtuous, a man of good character. He's trying to be like Christ. Hey, I can deal with that. My kids are safe. But when men don't stand up, and we just, a woman like on TV, they got these little weak CEO assistants. The woman comes in there and yells in a little man's face, and a little man cowers in front of her. They're like, okay, whatever you want, I'll do. Man, you know that ain't true. You know that ain't right. You know that ain't gonna happen. You know that ain't real life. So, basically, we trying to fight evil with evil. Problem is, it doesn't work. We trying to fight evil with evil. See, a lot of Catholics these days and a lot of Christian Catholics and Catholics. I'm sorry, let me get it right. A lot of Christians and Christian Catholics today, they think that, we're going to talk it out, and everybody's going to agree, and then it's going to be cool. No. The church's job is not to have discussions. The Catholic Church and Christ, they already got it figured out. They didn't have it figured out for over 2,000 years. Your job is just to be obedient and do it. Because why? Because your life's going to be better. A lot of these pains and anxieties and trials and tribulations you have in your life will go away. Because God's going to have to give us grace to help you. So you can't fight evil with evil, man. You just can't. You have to fight evil with Christ. That's it. That means you got to be morally, you got to be a great moral character. You got to have virtue, and that's what you got to do. Now, that's why, as it goes back to confession, we broken. We gonna slip. Adam messed things up. He listened to his wife Eve. She screwed up. Bam. So now they screwed up. We got the fall. So now the fall, we all screwed up. So we broken. So what we have to realize is now we can't be compromising. We can't be compromising with other people that are trying to take away the church and what the church believes. So Christ needs warriors and not wusses. He needs you to be a freaking rebel. I mean, you're a husband. You a Catholic Christian husband, man. You can't be up there. You can't be being emasculated. You can't. You can never let. First of all, you can never let anybody take away your manhood, man. Your masculinity. That's a gift from God. He gave that to you. And you can't continually, you got to stand up. You can't let your kids control you, run your house. You can't give, kids getting respect. Man, you don't give kids respect, man. They kids, they don't know nothing. You don't put adult decisions in the hand of kids. Look at this. You need proof of what I'm saying? Look at all these, look at the society, man. Everybody want to talk bad about parents that can't control their kids. But then the kids, they yell at the mom or father yell at the kid to get the kid in control, or the father will yank up the kid or whatever, the mother yank up the kid, or the kid get a whooping and stuff, and we want to say, oh, we can't do that. All y'all know for downright y'all lying. You know you lying. you know you lying. You got to control the kid now so he ain't in prison later, especially boys. You cannot allow them to smart off to their mama. You can't allow them to approach you as a man. You don't show kids respect. You show kids love and consideration, discipline. Discipline is not what you do to somebody, it's what you do for somebody. That discipline is love. And if you don't love your kids and discipline them in the correct way, they're going to be hell on wheels later. Okay. In the last, why is it men blame why is it men blame everyone else for their refusal to man up? We always blame everybody else for our refusal to man up. You know, it's always the government's fault. It's the whites' fault. It's the people at work's fault. It's everybody's fault. Everybody's fault but our fault. And so my point is, like, this is funny because I came up with this a little while ago, a few months ago but it's like the great accomplishment by men of the last 60 years since Vatican II, since the 60s. You know what our greatest accomplishment is? I'll let you think about that for a second. Our greatest accomplishment is we let our boys walk around in the most feminine color on the planet, pink. Not just pink, hot pink. And we let them wear skinny jeans. That's our great accomplishment as men over the last 60 years. How proud are we now? Our sons are totally feminized. Well, you got your wish. Look, man, contrary to popular belief, women don't want soft, sensitive wusses. In fact, they can spot them a mile away. Matter of fact, I was talking to my wife this morning. She brought it up. She was like, women think they won't. This is another woman talking now. This ain't me. A woman thinks, men are portrayed on TV and now in real life thinking that women want a sensitive, crying, weak, unmasculine man. Dude, why you think all the girls are thinking they gay? Because ain't no men around. Women, I don't care if they gay. I don't care if they straight. I don't care what they are. When a woman sees a man that I don't care. When she sees a strong man of Christ, dude, that she's attracted to, man, she gonna fly to him. If you don't believe me, look at all these girls that thought, even these teenage girls, these girls in their 20s and 30s, these older women, they think they gay, and soon as a man come along that got it going on, that is strong, and got it, and a man of Christ that she can get with, guess what she do? I ain't gay no more. Don't believe me, man? Look, man, this is the truth. Just look out, look around. So popular contrary belief, women want strong, masculine Christian men. I don't care if they're atheists or not. Because to them, when you have the Holy Spirit exuding from you, women love that stuff. They love that stuff, man. They just do. They don't want somebody, because you know what? They need somebody that they feel worthy to follow. If you're not worthy of her, which means you have high virtue, high character, and a man of God, a man of Christ. Christ is your example. If you do things like that, your wife will allow you. See, that's the difference. Your wife will allow you to lead your family. If you don't stand up for her, if you don't show her you her champion, she ain't gonna allow you to do nothing. She gonna nag you all the time. She gonna be in your face all the time. She might even threaten you physically. Because she don't want to live her life with some dude that she feel can't protect her. And I don't just mean physically protect her, I mean spiritually protect her. Somebody that's praying for her, that's getting her graces from God, that's helping her get things on track, that's helping her grow, that can get her before the Father in heaven. Bam. Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:48. Nowhere in the Bible does it say, be a wuss, soft and weak, as your Father in heaven is a wuss, soft and weak. Bam. My whole life when I was a kid, and I said a little while ago, People always say, oh, you just think you're trying to be perfect. See, if you understand what's happening with the faith, you embrace that. Please tell me I'm trying to be faith, because my job isn't trying to be perfect. My job is trying to be holy and be a saint and be perfect. And anybody that tells you that, they a fool. Anybody that don't tell you that, they a fool. Anybody that goes against that, they a fool. They ignorant. They don't understand life. They don't understand nothing. See, the problem is, I say this in almost all my videos. The problem today is we don't tell people when they stupid. We don't. So people going around thinking that crazy stuff they talking about means something, or it's the truth. Worse yet, it's the truth. But we don't correct them. You know why? Because we cowards. And we care about our own feelings more than we care about our brother. We care about our own feelings more than we care about our brother's feelings. I'm not saying be a jerk about telling somebody the truth, but what I am saying is, if you love somebody as Christ loved, you don't let your brother go and do something stupid, and you don't tell him what he's doing stupid. Now, you probably gonna have, with today's society, you probably gonna have a lot of friends, but friends are overrated anyway. It's about evangelization. It's about Christ and bringing people to the truth. Because in 100 years, we all gonna be dead. And I don't mean, what I mean is, if you living right now, if you start as a baby at 1 year old, in 100 years at the max, you're gonna be dead. So basically, you're gonna live 100 years, and you think that we died and sacrificed, that all this pain, our family and people dying, going through all this pain and suffering, and it don't mean that after 100 years, we just die and that's it? Man, you silly, man. You totally silly. That means you have no intellect. You have no intellect. If you just sit down and think about that for 2 seconds, you realize no matter what God you believe in, I don't care if you believe in the tooth fairy, you have to understand that just don't make sense. That we're here for 100 years and then we just die and then that's it. Dude, first of all, you got to understand physics. First of all, the soul is energy. Bam. Didn't know that, did you? The soul is energy. It has to go somewhere. When you die, your soul has to go somewhere because it's energy, dude. Your body, the body is dead. So the body's gone. It goes in the dust again. From dust you shall return. But think about it. Energy cannot be created, nor dispensed or killed or whatever. I forgot whatever the word is. But you can't destroy. Yeah, it can't be created or destroyed. Energy can't be created or destroyed. Okay, so basically, when you die, if your soul is energy, where you think it goes? It got to go somewhere, man. Your soul got to go somewhere, dude. If you don't believe the soul is energy, you need to get into the physics books. You need to go talk to your atheist professor at Harvard or these other places. They'll tell you. Now, they don't think it's a God and stuff in these crazy colleges, but they know that. Just put it to them. Put it to the question. All you young men out there that are in these colleges and high schools, ask your teacher, your physics teacher, your science teacher. Ask them, where does the soul go when it's dead, when you die? Because the soul controls the body, although you need the body and the soul to be able to feel, touch, and have the senses on earth. But ask them where your soul goes. Bam. Didn't know that, did you? Man, that's because you ain't searching, dude. You ain't searching for the truth. You're too busy going to the Colts games and the Dallas Cowboy games and stuff. You're too busy on your phone watching that TV. See, you need to get off and educate yourself. St. Thomas Aquinas, homeboy. St. Thomas Aquinas. Okay. You are the one God entrusted to protect, defend, and serve. So God put you in charge to protect, defend, and serve. You are entrusted the earth. You are entrusted this realm. Okay? Your wife is your helpmate. She's your battle partner. She prays for you. You pray for her. Bam. That's what we do. That's what we do. So you are entrusted. So basically, your wife's job is to help you do your job. What's your job? To serve. Your job is to do everything. Your wife is there to help you. Your wife ain't for you to put your foot on her head and just treat her like crap and she's your slave. And I know a lot of us, don't do that. But what I'm saying is I'm over exaggerating. But everything that you do, man, your wife, the reason she's equal to you is because she's a human person. But why is your wife a human person? Because Christ and God made him that way. He made her that way. Bam. Okay. So how do you do this? How do you protect, defend, and serve? You do this by prayer and manning up for the truth. And if you don't know the truth, have enough courage to get off your butt and find it. That's how you serve, protect and defend. You learn the truth. First of all, you pray, like I talked about that already. You pray, and then after that, you get down to business. You man up and you search for the truth. Because deep inside of you, man, no matter whether you believe it or not, God's calling you. Inside of you, the Holy Spirit and God are calling you to be great. But what you want to do, you want to deny all that crap. You want to deny it. And that ain't right, man. Listen, dude. Listen. Let your pride go and just listen. You will hear the call and see all these new age people, all this, well, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. Man, you know how stupid that sounds? So you're going to worship a statue, dude? You're going to worship these crazy people, these pagans? Like I said before, if you don't be reverent to God, somebody else is gonna mold you and create you, dude. Create your way you think. If you're not taking God's advice, you're gonna take the government's advice. You're gonna take your crazy parents' advice that don't know nothing, that ain't got God together. They don't have God in their life. You're gonna be molded by something. Why not the Christian religion that's been for over 2,000 years been, they got things together, man. If you would just learn your faith, dude. Learn your faith. Pick up the word. Pick up the catechism. Read the church fathers. Check out St. Thomas Aquinas. Man, the Catholic faith is a faith of intellect. It's a faith of intellect. The greatest minds in the history of the world have been Catholics. We created hospitals, dude. We created science. Come on now. Get it together. I plead with you. Stop disappointing the Father. Listen to the voice inside leading you to the truth. Stop disappointing him. No more distractions. Remember, there are no good people in heaven. Only saints. Bam. You're going to be like, But I'm telling you, one of my favorite deacons in the Catholic Church, man, he said there are no, Deacon Harold Sivers, there are no good people in heaven. You know why? Because they all saints. Only pure, holy, and saints are in heaven. But man, you can get there. But you got to start now. You can't see, when you don't have hope, you sinning. You got to always have hope that I can get my wife, my children, and myself to heaven. But you got to do that through God and Christ and let the Holy Spirit lead you there. People think just because people think because they aren't a serial killer that they aren't evil. That's crazy too. Here's what evil is. Evil is anything just like sin and bad things, sin and evil. Those things are, what that means is anything opposite of God. That's what evil is. So what happens is the small evils create the big evils. So, contraception. If you on contraception, taking pills and stuff, you're gonna mess your marriage up. That's rule number one. You don't take contraception. You don't put toxins and poisons in your body just because you try to have babies. Guess what? Sex works. If you don't want to have a baby, you know what you do? You don't have sex. Simple. Common sense. See, that's what brilliant people think. People that are ignorant, they fall for whatever these crazy people out here tell them. Also, masturbating. Things like that. I mean, you know why you don't masturbate? Because it turns you in upon yourself. If you love, and you say you love the earth, and you love the trees, and all this kind of stuff, you love whatever, dude, you are supposed to love as Christ loved. He sacrificed and died for you, and for the church, and for his bride, the church. When you masturbate, you turn in up on yourself. You only giving yourself pleasure. That's not how you be perfect. That's not how you be holy, and that's not how you be a saint. That's how no woman ain't gonna want to be around you watching pornography. Any man out here watching pornography, they wife, unless she's just totally crazy, she is not gonna agree with that. You know why? Because when you watch pornography, it's just you enjoying it by yourself. Your wife, you married your wife. She deserves to have all of you, your complete self, your total complete self. One flesh, dude, one flesh. Those things, the last two things I mentioned, pornography and masturbation, those are totally selfish acts. You can't be a lover. You can't be a world-class lover by watching pornography and watching and masturbating. If you such a good lover, man, show your wife. Learn about what God expects from you in the marital embrace. Learn these things, man. See, but no, you can't do that because you're too selfish. So I plead with you. Stop disappointing the Father. Listen to the voice inside of you. So, this blog is to get you to embrace the Catholic alpha inside of you and in your home. Okay? So, I'm going to read you a little story about how I really, that really showed me that that it really humbled me. It's a quick story, and please just bear with me. So this is a story. It happened to me a few years ago, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. I can't remember now. But anyway, so it says, one day in the barbershop, I call it the barbershop tale. One day in the barbershop, an acquaintance boasted, the Catholic faith is a cult. And he spent an hour trying to convince me. During that span, I'd been a Catholic for only about 8 years. But I failed to embrace the faith, in essence, because I became a convert to please my wife. That's another post. That's another blog for another time. That's another post for another time. But that day, I defended Jesus and our faith the best I could. As I left, I sat in my car outside the barbershop for over 30 minutes, contemplating what just happened. I felt something deep and unsettling. I knew in my heart I had just let our Lord down. I didn't fight hard enough. I wasn't prepared. I let myself be sideswiped. I was a fool. As I look back, this day is the day the Holy Spirit began to open my eyes. I started seeing the world for what it is and what it is not. And on that day, I promised him and myself, never again would I be unprepared to defend him in battle, to fight, to sacrifice, and even give my life for him if need be. On that day, I became a dangerous man. On that day, I became a true Catholic man. On that day, I became a real Christian. On that day, I became a Catholic alpha. I need to shout to you, be a man who is feared. It said there is no more man to be feared than a man who knows and understands his Catholic and Catholic Christian faith, his Christian faith. And that, my friends, in essence, is what a Catholic alpha is. A dangerous man, a man to be feared, a man worthy of love, loyalty, respect, and honor, a man of courage. Why? Why? Because then you can't be controlled. You have true freedom. Why? Because this world is trivial and it's not the end. That's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. That's why Christ is the man. Because when you die, it ain't over. Your soul has to go somewhere, either heaven, purgatory, or hell. If you don't know what purgatory is, you better go ask somebody and find out. That's another post. What I'm telling you, you cannot be controlled. Because, look, when people know that when you are beholden to Christ, that's why they don't want Christians in the White House. That's why they don't want Christians in government places and all that stuff. That's what took it out of the schools. So we fell for the hype. That's why I'm saying us men are weak and soft and we wusses. We allowed the men in the Catholic Church, the men in the Protestant Church, the men let these fools take Christ out of our schools, out of the courthouse, out of the Congress, out of the Senate, out of the Supreme Court, and out of the darn White House. We did that. We did it, man. We stupid. We allowed Christ to just go. Let them do that. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that we did this. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting a little upset because when I start thinking about it, look, when you a man of Christ, man, a man of God, man, you use Christ as your example as a man. You want to be willing to die. If you are not a man, a true man, you are not a man of Christ. You are not a man of courage. If you have nothing and you get up day to day and you run around and you go to your little job and you make your little millions and you got your little cars and sleep with all of the women and think you the man, you have nothing. If you're not willing to die for something, if you're not willing to die for something, you are not a man. You are a coward. That's why people hate one of the reasons people hate the Muslims. No matter how twisted they are or aren't, them men in that religion will die for God. They will go to jail for God because you ain't telling them how to run their household. They will go to jail for God. And that's what we as Catholics and Christians and Christian Catholics got to learn to do again. We used to be like that. We used to be like that. We ain't like that no more. We're too selfish. And we teach our boys to be selfish. We have to be willing to die for Christ. And the government has to know it. And everybody around you has to know it. You know why? Because when you're willing to die for Christ, when you're willing to die for your wife, when you're willing to die for your family, and what I mean die is not only die and no longer be on this earth, I mean sacrifice and give your life to them every day. Give your life to them every day. You die a little every day. Every day you sacrifice. Every time you sacrifice, you die a little every day. That's what sacrificing your life is for, dude. That's what it's about. And you ain't a man. I don't care what you can say. You can come beat me up all you want, but that ain't gonna change the truth. It ain't. And your wife, if your wife loves you and she wishes she could tell you the same thing. So, look, I don't know everything about the faith, but I do know Christ is the truth. I know that much. I researched that much. So I'm asking you, let's make a pact. Look, you and me right now, that went over an hour. I promised I wouldn't do that, but I did. But let's make a pact. No more divorce. No more separation. No more broken families. No more broken children. Be strong, masculine, and teach your children the faith. Remember, a woman is made for man, his helpmate, his battle partner. Protect her, defend her, serve her with all you have, even when she makes you mad. Become your wife's champion again. Become your children's hero. Be a man that they can look up to. Just be a man of Christ so that your family will look up to you. And how do we do this? Use Christ as your ultimate example of manliness. Just do it, man. Research it. Look at the New Testament. Christ is not weak in the New Testament. Sure, these people out here try to make you think Christ was weak, that he was soft, that he loved everybody. He does love everybody. But how did he love everybody? He loved everybody by telling the truth. And he was aggressive and he was strong about it. Please, just read the New Testament and look at Christ's words. Does that sound soft to you? Does that sound like he's saying do whatever the hell you want to do? Heck no, it ain't. I read it. See, that's what happens when you don't read and educate yourself. You let other people influence what you're talking about. Christ was not weak. And you men out there, if you a man out there and you're not a man of Christ because you think he's weak and soft, man, please just do me a favor. Research. Go to the Catechism of the Catholic Faith. Go to the New Testament. Just read God's words, man. Read Christ's words. He'll show you he ain't soft. He'll show you he ain't weak. He will. Because can you get the thorns on your forehead? Can you be on the cross with stakes in your arms and in your legs? How long would you last? Christ ain't tough. So, I ask you, are you up for the mission? I say yes. And why? Why are you up for the mission? I think you are. You just got to understand, have a purpose and understand why the mission is. That's how men are. We just don't do stuff to do it. We got to understand why. And I applaud you for that. God put that doubt in your head so that you would search for him. So the Holy Spirit is working on me right now. God uses men. If you look through all out the history of the Bible, God uses men to let people know what's going on. And I'm not no prophet, and I'm not crazy like that. I'm just telling you that Christ and the Holy Spirit are in me, and he's just using me to tell you the truth. And the truth is this: you are up for the mission. You know why? Because you were made for greatness. You weren't made for mediocrity. That's just the simple truth. So that's it for today. I went over a little bit, and I apologize a little bit, man. But, when I start talking about my wife and my family and my kids and God and Christ and stuff, and these men and how they letting us down, they letting our sons down, I just get real emotional and upset, man. I'm not going to apologize for that. That's just how I am. We need more men getting angry in the right ways. It's called righteous anger. Jesus did it in the temple. Remember, he pushed the tables over and stuff because people in there was tripping. And when you trip, you need somebody to tell you to bring you back around. And so that's what I'm doing. So let me ask you, are you ready to take your marriage to the next level? Are you? If so, then let's rock this and get to work. Next, start the day turning a bad marriage into a good marriage and a good marriage into a great marriage by subscribing to my free 2-week email course at catholicalpha.com. Enter your name and email in the address block, then check your email account to confirm that you want to get the information I'm going to send you. Do that today. Do it today. And the reason is this course is a blueprint, step-by-step process to get you started on building a great marriage. I don't call it a great marriage. I call it a legendary marriage. You know why I call it a legendary marriage? Because, man, people think it's about, I had a little money in my life. I ain't never been no millionaire or whatever, but I done made my businesses. I done made money and stuff. I done had nice cars and Lincolns and Cadillacs and Jeeps, Cherokees, and all these crazy nice cars and stuff. I had, lived in nice places, traveled the world and stuff. I did stuff like that, man. But I'm going to tell you what, that stuff, it don't mean nothing, man. A legendary, you know what means something? It's how your wife looks at you. How your children view you. And your relationship with Christ. Those are three things, only three things that really matter. Because you know why? Because if you build a great family with Christ as the example, your children and your children's children will have great and awesome families. That's what building a legendary marriage is. That's how you leave a legacy, man. Ask any rich dude. I don't care if it's Bill Gates. See, right now, Bill Gates is probably kicking his butt. His wife is too. They got one child, maybe. I don't know how many. Oprah ain't got no kids. They kicking themselves in the butt. They ain't gonna tell you that, but they are, because they don't have nothing. They got all the money in the world, and they don't have no children. They have nobody to pass on their knowledge to. They don't have Christ in their life. None of them do. Their stuff is empty. Just look at Oprah, man. She'll tell you. If you talk to Oprah one-on-one, I guarantee she'll tell you she wish she had some kids. I bet she ain't told her friend, what's her friend, Gail? I bet she ain't told her that. She ain't gonna get on TV and say it, because then, that breaks the mold. We gotta stay strong. We gotta be a strong black woman. We gotta set example. Yeah, set example, be lonely for the rest of your life with dogs. I liked Oprah. I liked her for a long time. But once I understood the faith, man, she's hollow, man. She hollow, dude. She's searching. Look at all those religious people she got on her stuff, talking about spirituality and New Age and all that stuff. Man, she's leading women down the wrong spot, man. And, I used to love Oprah. I still do like Oprah. I really do. Oprah's a very intelligent woman. She got a lot of smart people around her. But Oprah ain't got no men around her. That's her problem. She needs some men around her. Why do you think Stedman didn't marry her? Stedman didn't marry her because she ain't a real woman. Oprah is not a real woman, man. She's a pseudo woman. That's just the deal right there. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the deal. I like Oprah. She gonna probably, if she knew me, she'd be mad at me. But once she talked to me and I explained to her what a weird woman's supposed to be and showed her some examples, she'd be all right. She'd be married. I could get Oprah married in less than a year. I could. Anyway, so basically, so can you afford with this course is a blueprint. It'll get you married, started in your marriage, get you a legendary marriage. So can you afford to not at least look at it? That's what I'm asking you. Subscribe to the e-course today. Can you afford not to let's just look at it? I mean, if you're liking what I'm giving you, man, just think what a whole email course got. 2 full weeks, 7 emails, a lot of 20,000 words, man, to help you at least get started. Don't let your ego and your pride, don't let that stop you. Don't ever think you know everything, because you don't. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care what you got. You will never know everything. So stop taking your marriage and your wife for granted. Take action and learn something. Take some action and subscribe today. I'm asking you. So for more in-depth coverage of today's information, read the blog post below, or if on YouTube, click the blog post, link in the description area. So just click it. Check out the blog post. It's my introduction to CatholicAlpha.com. It's my my pillar article. That's the only one I got. That's the only one I wanted to put up there because it's the introduction to the site. And lastly, me and my friend St. Michael the Archangel, we get ready to leave you. We went a little too long today, but lastly, we're going to end as always with Pope Benedict, because I want you to always know what your mission is and what you're meant for. He said, society offers you comfort, but you weren't made for comfort. You were made for greatness. Now go forth, Christian soldier. The spiritual fight is up on you. Fast, pray, and prepare for battle.